Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a special Mortgage Coach Tuesday interview. We have framed this as the Mortgage Coach Sales Meeting, which when I founded this whole Tuesday call every Tuesday at 9, that's what it was. It was coming out of the meltdown. There was not a lot of sales meetings happening in the mortgage industry. And my goal and my why was, you know what, every Tuesday 9, I'm going to step on a stage and provide leadership. And here we are 12 plus years later, maybe 14 years later, and we're still going strong. So today's special. I'm in person with Todd Bookspan, my co-host and co-partner. What's up, dude?
Dude, it's fun. It's fun. I'm sitting here, got the laptop in my lap. Oh, look at that call in with Bill Hart, and working away, getting tickets loaded up for people who are buying Modern Real Estate Summit passes. And I'm gonna add some color here as we go. I'm super excited to have time. This is always awkward when you sit here and do this side by side. But actually, it's not as bad with this little setup you got. Like, this is good. Like, better than us standing in Portland when we used to do it.
Yeah, no, I feel it really good. So yeah, we're broadcasting live out of Torrey Pines, California, which, oh my God, if you could see the view over there, we would have broadcast that way, would have blown out this whole thing. But let us know where you're at. And we've also got Sosi Avila joining us to deliver a Mortgage Coach Sales Meeting. What's up, Sosi?
What's up, guys? Good morning.
Dude, thank you for last minute agreeing to jump on this. We were hanging out with Danny last night, and we were talking about Sosi, and I'm like, oh my God, Sosi would be perfect to do this call. So thanks, Sosi.
Absolutely. Excited to.
Got it. So you know, guys, we got 3 core topics today. Number 3 is like getting conversations where you're helping realtors and their quality conversations. And Sosi's perfect because he actually forwarded me a sales meeting that he did with realtors where he was teaching them strategies. And so that was one to many. He was having a conversation with one to many agents on Zoom. We're going to talk about that in a minute, Sosi. I've never spoken to more realtors with more intentional conversations. And the most elite realtors in America are saying, you know what? Yes, I want loan officers to close loans on time, keep their promises. Never been more important. But more important than that, every time I get a buyer, I'm like, and they need a mortgage, I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to differentiate them? How am I going to position them so they win? And you know what? They got to be cash offers. So we're really going to be talking about, and I don't think it's redefining. This has always been the job of a mortgage coach, is to help the family craft an offer that wins the deal. Sometimes you need to expand the buyer's limits a little bit. Like they're like, I'm not paying more than this for this house. Well, based on your assumptions, maybe you should pay more for this house. So Todd, anything else you want to frame it before we get into the topics?
I mean, I think you nailed it. I mean, the one thing that I don't think you all realize is just how many of the top real estate agents Dave has talked to in the past 30 days, right? Dave has always been connected to that community, but I don't think, at least from my perception, as long as I've known you, that you've ever been as connected as you are now. And I think that, you know, it's really going to drive all of your mission, right? How can you stand out as the local lender versus all the other people that they're talking to? And I just think that the TCA, and especially now when buyers need you more than ever and your real estate agents need you to help close those transactions and close not just the transaction, actually just get them under contract. I think that's really what this is all about.
So let's do this. We've got a couple other loan officers that we're going to bring on stage. We're going to actually play videos. They're called Mortgage Coach Stories, where loan officers have created some content that's going to play live at the Modern event tomorrow. And we're gonna play those, and then we're gonna unpack them. Sosi and the two of us. But Sosi, let's just start off with, you're in the trenches, brother. You're like, we're talking about what's happening. You're living what's happening. So what kind of value, what kind of thoughts do you want to kick off the call with?
Yeah, I think if anything, maybe just kind of framing the psychology, at least for me, being in the trenches that I have to go through, right? I feel like a turkey many times, being poked to see if I'm done yet. Whether that's in the form of a realtor asking me a question on an appraisal that is not due till tomorrow, whether it's offers going out and I'm being CC'd and we have over 20 offers going out over a weekend when I'm trying to enjoy my work-life balance, no matter what it is, right? There is so much, I think, mental frustration that happens for anybody in the trenches performing at a high level. And so as I enter into this conversation, I think one of the good things to remember is this is a moment in time to think big picture. This isn't, let me just find the one strategy that's going to help me change my whole life. It's going, let me get the vision that these great people with good hearts and amazing production, let me get some of that vision casted to me so I can learn how to be able to incorporate that into my business. And that's kind of where I'm seeing this conversation go, if I'm understanding it correctly. And so for me, being in the trenches, it helps me from a relief standpoint, helps me to realize this is not the getting poked by a realtor to see if I'm done yet, the turkey illustration, but this is let me figure out more of the big picture stuff, the reason why I'm in the industry, the way I want to create my team so I can have a massive impact on those around me. So yeah, for me, that would be the frame that I'm looking at in this.
So, Sosi, I'd love for you to get ready in about 3 or 4 minutes to share an actual TCA where you've helped a family get confidence and clarity to make a winning offer. And it could have been it's their first offer, and it could be their counter offer. But just if you could think of a total cost analysis, it could be cost of waiting, it could be an appraisal gap, it can be, but something in those two parts of the sales process. Now, guys, I'm going to bring Sean HERRERO on stage. We're talking, this is a 4-year loan officer, did over 100 million, over 100 million last year. And he's going to provide a presentation for the Modern Summit where he's a mortgage coach. And these are already on our YouTube channel. So there's a new, I'm announcing something right now. There's a new playlist called the Mortgage Coach Agent Advantage playlist. And I made this so that agents will be using the content in here to actually educate loan officers that, hey, I'm a modern realtor. If you want my business, you need to be a modern loan officer, and you need to be able to be a mortgage coach. So, Sosi, I'm also at the end of this call going to ask you, I would love for you to create one of these Mortgage Coach Agent Advantage calls or Agent Advantage videos. But let's check out Sean, and then let's do a little debrief on this, guys. So here's Sean HERRERO. And this is called, I think he positioned himself is how he is an agent or an offer acceptance specialist. So how is he positioning himself? I'm an offer acceptance specialist. Let's check it out.
What's going on, everyone? I hope you're enjoying the Modern Real Estate Summit. I'm Sean HERRERO. I'm a mortgage coach and a mortgage advisor in Northern California. And today I'm going to show you what I do to help all of my clients win in multiple offer situations. I don't care what part of the country you're in right now. The market's not unique. Everyone is up against this. So I just beat out 71 other offers. I had a client make an offer on a home. There was 72 offers. We were contingent and we won. Why? Because a more confident offer is the most valuable offer. So what we have to do is ensure that your clients are not just pre-approved. If you have a preferred lender and they're a great lender, but they give you a pre-approval letter and they just wait till you get your offer accepted, it's just not going to cut it anymore. What you need is an offer acceptance specialist. And that's what I focused on since I started doing this back in 2017. I have to win. The mortgage doesn't matter if I can't get the offer accepted. So what I'm going to show you today is one of the many strategies that I use to create a more confident buyer. A more confident buyer is more nimble and more ready to react to multiple offer situations. And the sooner we show that ability, the sooner we get accepted. So take a peek at what I do. This is just one of the steps of becoming an offer acceptance specialist, but let's take a peek.
All right, everyone, welcome to Mortgage Coach. So this is a live scenario I used this morning in a multiple counter. It's April 1st, that's when I'm recording this video. I had a client who made an offer at 600. We got a multiple counter. We're at 625 is what she says is her absolute highest. Her agent called me and said, look, Sean, we've got to go to 635 to win this property. She's stuck at 625. Can you help her? Of course I can. What I do is I don't want to sell her on it. I want her to make a confident, educated decision. And that's what Mortgage Coach allows me to do. I can illustrate everything with her, go over it on the phone, click around live in here, and make sure she knows exactly what her financing is going to look like. She's not being persuaded or sold into 635. She's making an educated decision on her own. So how does she do that? Well, the difference in cash out of pocket is only $1,000, and the monthly payment's only higher by $49. Now, if you really love the house, is it worth losing over $1,000 out of pocket and $49 per month? Of course not. She loves the house. We went back. We're going to win. And that's a simple way that I can help create a more confident buyer. A more confident buyer is a more confident offer. What do our sellers want? Sellers want confidence. We've seen them pick cash offers, they'll pick finance offers over cash. They'll pick lower priced offers over higher priced offers, purely based on confidence. We all know the lender is the biggest variable in the transaction. Make sure the lender you're working with is not a variable. Make sure their clients are confident.
So that's it. Not rocket science. Tons of detail, tons of data to make sure they know exactly how the financing works. There is full disclosure, full transparency, so there will be no guesswork. There will be no buyer's remorse. Your clients know exactly what's going on when you're working with a mortgage coach. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me anytime at Adventure Lender on Instagram. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the summit, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
So guys, I don't know if you took this note, but confident buyers are winning buyers. And I believe this with all my heart. The two most valuable words on earth and emotions on earth are love and confidence. Like when you're confident, you make decisions faster. You do the right thing. You have a different energy. And that saves time for realtors. Like sometimes the buyer will finally, expand their personal limit, but how much friction and how much, challenge before they do that. So Sosi, any takeaways from that you had?
Yeah, I think he hit it right on the head, right? Confidence, 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 confidence. And as that's such a great value proposition to the buyer's agent, when you call the listing agent, and I'm assuming everyone calls the listing agent, right? I mean, that is just hands down one of the main things. And I know
everybody doesn't call the listing agent, by the way.
Everyone in our community, I'm
Okay.
assuming, calls the listing agent. At least we should. And so one of the good things to kind of communicate is not only is the client qualified, not only is my reputation secure, but the client is confident. Why? Because I sat down with them and I reviewed numbers and I told them what to do, how to be the best buyer in a seller's market. I coached them on how to be what your seller's going to want so that they don't have any headaches during escrow, especially if they're going to move on to the next step. So I really love what Sean is doing there. And I love being able to utilize that same value prop to the next level of communication when you're trying to get the offer accepted, which I'm sure he does really well too.
Well, one thing I would say is I was happy to see Sean back in his van because his other video he did for the event, he's sitting in his house and it's just not quite the same. And I just love that he also, frames it, right? I mean, he does a really good job. Anytime that you are using words, like obviously our community's adopted appraisal gap, right? Keith Collins calls it appraisal insurance. Anytime that you have something where he's calling himself, what do you say, an offer acceptance specialist?
An offer acceptance
right?
specialist.
I mean,
That's
think
powerful.
about that. Like when you say that just in itself, when you call the listing agent, it's going to make you stand way out from where they are.
Yeah, and words matter. I had a conversation with Kelly Zitlow yesterday. I was working on how I was framing her video, and she said a word I'm using a lot right now is winning in a bidding war. And she's, using that in context. And we'll pull out other phrases that mortgage coach leaders, because guys, we want you as a mortgage coach to be the most successful mortgage professional in America. We think like when a family gets a fee worksheet, that's a mortgage transaction. That is not advice. That does not help them build wealth with real estate. And it's not the best way to help a family prepare to win an offer. So Sosi, we could do another video. We've got Amber KOVARIK, and we've got a few videos that we can debrief on, but we also want to create a live video with you. Are you ready, or do you want to buy a little more time?
I mean, I got to be ready, right?
No, we're gonna buy you 3 more minutes.
They put you on the spot. I love that.
We're gonna bring on Amber KOVARIK. We're gonna hear how she is framing, educating, and communicating with agents about the value of being a mortgage coach and how a mortgage coach can help with appraisal gaps. Check it out. And then we're gonna put you on the spot.
Hey, it's Amber KOVARIK, a 17-year mortgage veteran and a subscriber to the Mortgage Coach community for over a decade now. And I know that across the country, we're dealing with low inventory and everyone's trying to figure out solutions to help our clients win their offer and be able to purchase that perfect home for them. And a winning strategy that we've been using with great success is our appraisal gap strategy. So essentially what we're showing our clients is that anyone who has a conventional buyer with 10% down or more, we're showing them how we can leverage mortgage insurance to help them make up a fairly sizable gap between the appraised value and their contract sales price without it costing them very much out of pocket. And by utilizing this strategy, what you get is a buyer that's more confident, that's educated, and that is ready to make an aggressive offer and win. Let me show you what this looks like. In this example, we had a client that wanted to purchase a home that was listed for $375,000. The realtor was suggesting that she would need to go in around $420,000 to be able to win the offer, and she was putting down 20%. Now remember that you can utilize this strategy as long as someone's putting down 10% or more. But in this situation, I showed her what it would look like if she went under contract at $420,000 and it appraised at $420,000. Here's her loan amount, the approximate payment, and her cash to close, the 20% down plus her closing cost. I also wanted to prepare her for the possibility that the home does not appraise at the contract sales price. And so I showed in one example, so client, if we say that this home appraises $25,000 under our sales price, I want to show you how we can make this work without it costing you dollar for dollar out of pocket. So in this example, it's a $420,000 contract sales price, but we have a $25,000 gap. We're keeping the loan amount the exact same, which means the monthly payment is exactly the same. So now we went from an 80% loan to value to an 85% loan to value because we have to use the lower of the two. Appraised value. And so now we're in a mortgage insurance situation. But instead of having her pay monthly mortgage insurance, we looked at a lump sum mortgage insurance policy, buying out the mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. So you will see the only difference in scenario 2 is that her cash to close is a little less than $1,300 higher. And that's because that is the cost of the single premium insurance for her scenario. I also wanted to show her what if the home appraised at the list price of $375,000. Now we have a $45,000 gap. What does that look like for you? Again, same scenario. Keep the loan amount the same. The monthly payment stays the same. Now with the $45,000 gap, we're at a 90% loan to value. So we're in that next higher mortgage insurance bucket. And the cost of that single premium insurance goes up to about $5,000. So you'll see that increase in the cash to close. On this analysis, I can show her by clicking on the closing cost tab. Right here are the single premium mortgage insurance amounts that we are using to buy out that insurance, allow her to go in and make an aggressive offer that's $45,000 over list while still keeping her cash to close within her comfortable budget. She is so excited. She feels like she can win in this market and she's comfortable with all of the numbers. This is a winning solution. And my suggestion is that you make sure that your lender is educated on this and you have them be the one to really dig into the details with the client to make sure they qualify. The mortgage insurance cost is going to vary per client based on their different factors, but just letting your client know that your lender has this ability to provide a strategy for them that is winning in this market. Thank you so much. I hope this strategy is a winning solution for you and your clients. If you have any follow-up questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Boom. How many times did she use the word winning solution? Amber is just so good with words, with phrases, with pronunciation. I've had a lot of realtors watch these videos and they say, hey, I like it when I can see their face and they're talking and they're communicating. But then when they show the numbers, I like it when they blow it up because you know what? They watch this content on mobile phones. So they can see it better when you just have the actual mortgage strategy blow up. And then you notice she used the highlighting feature. So you can kind of see and track it as it moves. Those are just some best practices. If I recommend that you create your own videos like these. Now, the videos you've seen so far, we specifically told the people who are on stage, you can't mention your company name, you can't sell yourself, you can't have a tie down at the end. But guys, we made these for the mortgage coach community. One, so that realtors want and demand mortgage coaches, which will help everybody listen to this right now. And two, they're templates for you to go create your version of that, but just frame yourself a little bit differently so that you're competing, and do a tie down. Say, hey, if you want to make sure that all your buyers are confident and they have a winning buyer, let me do what I just showed here to all of your buyers. So Sosi, any takeaways, any thoughts after that?
You know, to kind of dovetail off of you, Dave, the one word that comes to mind when I was watching her presentation was just elegance. She did it with such grace. She communicates in such an effective way. I mean, you're listening, you're just kind of all attention in, going, wow, that makes me feel comfortable. This makes me feel excited, which in return will be able to go and help our clients move forward with all the confidence they need for the next step. So I just thought that was fantastic.
So here's what I think. All of you who are participating in the Modern Real Estate Summit with your agents, you're going to have to make Dave's day. Every time one of your real estate agents says, oh, that's that cool thing you did in a total cost analysis, and tells you, hey, how awesome it is and how that's part of the reason they want you to be their lender, you need to make sure you send it to this guy so that you actually just
post it in the group.
It's kind of a good pat on the back for him driving his mission and helping all of you.
Yeah, well, we like private messages. We like texts, love feedback in the Mortgage Coach Facebook group. So give us your feedback there. So we've got a few more videos to share, but we're going to make one with Sosi here in a minute. I do want to let you guys know we just dropped the show clock. Did it hit?
The show clock is in the Facebook group. So those of you who are looking for what time is so-and-so going to be on tomorrow, that is approximately the time they will be on tomorrow.
Yeah, so I recommend that one, you go in there, and it's easy to take a picture, save it to your own place, and then text it to all your agents. So just another reminder, they may have already opted in and be signed up, but now you can text it to them and say, hey, just want to make sure you had the schedule. Remember, guys, this event is not just about the event. The event is about all the great conversations you can have before the event and all the value you can bring after the event. So text, even you can email it, but text it to them. Make sure they've got it saved in their own phones. So that's there. Also, for realtors who haven't responded to you, when they see the names of who we have on this stage and they see the topics, like the name, the topic, there's going to be a lot of realtors are like, oh, now I want to go, because they know, hey, I want to see Kyle Whistle at this time. I want to see Ryan Serhant at this time. Remind you guys, we're going to try to run on schedule, but
we're doing our best. The other part is you have 30 days access. So also tell them, hey, that's fine if you can't make it because you've got a listing appointment or something else. You know, they'll have 30 days access to the content. It'll be broken up in there. And you know, I do think that a lot of people are like, oh, it's so last minute. I mean, I'm laughing. The reason I'm sitting here doing this is because we literally have people buying 2,500 tickets right now, or just buying a handful, and then they're showing it in their conference room at their office. So there's definitely still opportunity for you to be part of the event. And then even if you bought 25 tickets today and you couldn't use but 15 of them by tomorrow, you'll still have 10 passes then to call people with later this week and offer them a 30-day access to the event. Say, gosh, hey, you just missed this awesome event. I thought of you when I saw Brian North talking about emotional intelligence versus artificial intelligence and how you can thrive in this market and compete against these other companies.
So guys, put your questions and comments down below. So we're getting close to the halfway mark, but as a sales meeting, as a sales coach, one, consume this content that we just played, watch it, it's on our YouTube channel, make some notes, then make it yours. Now, why is Amber so elegant and so good? Because she's made hundreds of videos. She's made maybe thousands of videos. Between the videos she puts on a TCA and the videos she creates to communicate, she's awesome because she's done it a lot. So anybody who hasn't done it a lot, start with just a text video. Like just send a text video saying thank you to a realtor for something. But what you just saw, the quality of the video execution, that didn't just happen. That was not her first video. She's been doing it a lot. So Sosi, before we put you on the spot, have you do a mortgage coach strategy, like live, pretend there's a bunch of realtors watching us and deliver something amazing. Before I put you on the stage, how are you doing it, giving out tickets to this event so far? And any advice you have to everyone on how to get these tickets out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just take it straight from the horse's mouth. No offense, Dave. But the best strategy I've seen is sign the realtor up on their behalf. Just go in there, put in their info, and let it go.
That was my idea.
That was his
because
idea.
I had so many people telling me that they were having troubles getting their agents to actually sign up. And so that was my brainstorm, because I had a pretty big team of people that you guys would all know from this community saying, gosh, that's my struggle. They're all in. They actually had 156 to be exact people that had committed, but they were just having troubles getting them signing them up. And so, yeah, I think that's the hot tip. And Dave and I both recorded videos on it yesterday in the community. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, go in there. But I would just put in there, of course, because it's me, I would just say, sign them up, their email, their name, and then I would make the password Todd Rocks, because I kind of.
Well, I made the password because I signed up a few, and I made it Dave Savage Rocks. Sosi, what are you putting in as the password when you put in their name, their email, and then what are you putting in for password?
Your fave LO Sosi has been my password.
Your fave LO Sosi. I like that. So by the way, if you are giving away tickets and you're making up fun passwords, let us know what password you're using. I like the either company name. I think Churchill Mortgage is doing Churchill Rocks. So put in a company name, Rocks, or come up with something like Sosi did. So Sosi, what strategy do you want to share with everyone right now?
So the strategy that we'll dive into, we'll kind of take the outskirts in the context of someone who was already shown the appraisal gap insurance, right? We're all human. And so when rubber meets the road, it gives somebody the confidence that they want in the beginning, yet when the appraisal actually comes in lower, it changes. So I want to kind of just reiterate and reinforce the appraisal gap strategy in the midst of escrow.
Let's do it, man. Let's see what you got.
Beautiful. All right. So do you want
guys, after this, I'm going to bring on Dan Keller and Denise Donahue, and they're going to do something other than an appraisal gap, but they're going to show you things. They get home buyers confident, so they have winning offers. So let's rock it out, Sosi.
Did you want me to pretend that you guys are realtors, or you want me to just go straight into the presentation?
Pretend you're
all right. Sweet. So as we discussed initially, right, the goal for us is to be able to help clients get past the dead end that Google leaves them at. When they research, and this client, as many of us know, are one of those millennial clients who are very analytical and in many ways are operating out of fear. Fear to not make the same mistakes that their parents made, fear to not make the mistakes that they've been told all millennials make. And so there's an extra amount of analysis that goes into these type of personalities, especially with the backgrounds that most of us millennials have. And so this client, as we shared with them in the beginning what to do, we showed them the single premium mortgage insurance, the monthly mortgage insurance. We went through the pros, cons. They were so excited. And we set them up that if the appraisal did come in lower, we would still be able to move forward and still be able to move forward with a monthly payment that was really not that different. And so rubber met the road and the appraisal came in lower, right? So in this scenario, you have a purchase price where the client was expecting to have a monthly payment of $37.56. Appraisal came in lower. What happens now? Well, we remind them of the appraisal gap strategy, and now they're getting nervous. They're not sure if they want to do that because the appraiser's opinion is that the house isn't worth this much. Are they overpaying? Are they going to be in a situation that they're going to regret? Are they making a mistake? Is truly what their fear is. And what their ask is can you help me reconcile what my conventional wisdom gut tells me and what I want to learn should be telling me so that I can move forward or not. And so from that perspective, we reminded them, okay, so aside from the appraiser's opinion, because right now appraisals can't keep up with the actual increase of value in communities because they're looking 6 months back. And right now this market is just different. It's moving too fast at a faster pace than we've had before. And so effectively, this being the opinion of one individual, what we'd be looking at here is with the lower appraisal, the monthly payment would only go from $37.56 to $37.65. That is a barely movement in their payment. Are you comfortable with that payment? The answer is yes. But again, because the question and the fear is, am I overpaying? This is where you and I, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, need a double team, right? And so On my side of the numbers, I want to put in perspective saying, what if you do hit the eject button? If you hit the eject button and let's say values only increase 2% by the time we get your offer accepted because it's taken us 4 months to get your offer accepted already, the value, let's say estimated, is going to be at 767, which is a 2% increase. Some are estimating that we're going to increase here in our specific area anywhere from 6 to 9% within 1 year. Okay, so 2% isn't that big of a jump, right? This isn't a pie in the sky number. This is a very good estimated number. If rates go up, and most are estimating the rates might be in 3.5 by the end of the year, if rates go back to that 3.375 and we're not going to buy any points down this time, your monthly payment is going to go to $39.62. What would you rather have right now as you make this move? And what do you think is the smartest move for you in your future and the legacy you're trying to create for you and your family? Would you rather have the payment go from $37.56 to $37.65? Or if this scenario plays out, would you rather have it go from $37.56 to $39.62? And keep in mind the difference of interest, if you do go back on the market and this is the card we get dealt with on the next house, even if it appraises for full value, because now this neighborhood has had a new comp, because if you don't buy it, someone else will. Now the elevated value of the neighborhood has increased and this value is going to be most likely appraised for next time. The difference on interest in just 7 years, which is what you said you want to be in this house for, it's going to be almost a $20,000 difference. So as you make your decision, right, we want to make sure you have all the data so that you can process and identify what is the best for you and your family. And so as a realtor partner, and as you're sharing with them your opinion on the comps and where the appraiser might not have seen every value and adjustment, we can reinforce the numbers so that when we say we gave them appraisal gap insurance, it's not just a one-time conversation, it's as many time conversations as more fears arise and the scenario actually plays out. So I hope that's helpful for you. I'm excited to double team with you more on this, and I can't wait to help clients, families continue to move forward past their fears and into the home of their dreams.
So Sosi, stop sharing your screen. So it's American Idol now, and I'm going to be Simon. and so first of all, good
I'll
job.
be Paula.
Yeah, you be Paula. You did a great job. I loved the words that you used. I love the strategies that you had. I love how clearly you pronounce words. That really does make a difference. I do recommend that whenever you're doing this, guys, start with you're just connecting. Like before you pull up the presentation, show it, frame it like this. And then when it's time and the numbers have merit, pull up and show the numbers. And then if there's a time where you can take the numbers down and connect, the more they get to see you. Because remember, guys, most of the time they're looking at you from a mobile phone, and then you're just that little picture. And even if they're watching on the laptop right now, like they want to see your eyes. So more of you, Sosi, you're so amazing that way. I also thought the tie down. I see this all the time. Loan Officers creates this great video, and then the tie down, it's weak. It's calming. It's can't wait to do business with you. It's generic. And I'm going to push you guys to put some thought, like write down, okay, what was my tie down going to be? And so to me, a tie down, like you just shared a strategy that's going to make a buyer more confident, and, say something to the effect that, this report I just went through, this mortgage coach report, I want to make sure that every family that you go to battle with to get them to win gets one of these. I want to make sure, based off of their personal, unique situation, what they believe is going to happen to rates, what they believe is going to happen to this. I want to make sure every one of your families gets one of these. So please reach out to me today. Let me know which family I can create confidence for. So just a little more color, so that there's like, oh, I gotta, ask for, hey, who are the two people that didn't win because they weren't confident enough? Let's go back and get those. Who are the first-time home buyers that you want to get off the fence and into escrow? Let me put this together for them. I want to do one of these services as a service for you, something like that.
And I think you should have a pre-canned appraisal insurance, appraisal gap, TCA, so that when you're calling a listing agent and they're like, oh, that was super awesome, Sosi, you just crushed it, or whatever your name is who's watching, because there's lots of you on, then say, awesome, hey, I'd love to share one with you, and then just text them over a link to the TCA. It's got your video, and then you're reframing it, because remember, you've already impressed the listing agent when you make the call. Take it one step further and then arm them with that, and then send them a follow-up text or maybe a follow-up video text that says, hey, what'd you think of that? Would love to insure your next offer that you submit for one of your clients.
And guys, that's one of the things you want to make sure, like you did that I don't know if it was a lunch learn, but you had a bunch of realtors on a call, and maybe you did it and I didn't see it, but after you show them an example, say, hey, in chat, I just put a link to that. I want you to click on that right now so you have it as a reference on your own phone. Because I want to make sure that you get to experience the same thing that your clients are going to get to experience. And then another thing, if you are doing a live lunch and learn on Zoom, I recommend that you've got the TCAs ready to go and they're framed appropriately, whatever it is, creating urgency with first-time home buyers. But you've thoughtfully framed it with a link. So you're literally just cut, paste, put it in chat, and then they click on it, and now you do live. So when you're highlighting things, you actually move their thing, because now that's creating like a connection, a multi-device experience. They're watching you, they're seeing it, they're getting to experience what their customers experience. Sosi, what are your thoughts on some of those comments?
Yeah, I think they're great. Yeah, thanks, Simon. Paula, you look fantastic. It's really good stuff.
Right
I
didn't bring my dog today, but I did bring Dave and Adam.
I would say one of the things that's been helpful for us too is sometimes you got so much on your plate, you can't do a full live meeting every time, especially with clients' schedule and your schedule if you're trying to stay at some type of life after work. BombBomb has been fantastic for that too. Being able to just do that video recording, showing it with almost alive because it's showing where you're highlighting and then sending it to them as a text. The appraisal gap seminar I did, I have sent that now to listing agents. I'm like, have you had anybody actually show you the details of that? Here, do you want it? Yes, and I love to share it with my team. Great, here you go. I've been seeing tons of clicks going off that thing, so it's been pretty awesome.
Cool. Well, Sosi, be thinking about anything else that comes up. Anyone listening to this, if you've had some objections, if you've had some challenges, if you're new to the business and you got a question, or you're not new to the business, but you have a question, put it in comments. We're going to check that out. I am going to bring Dan Keller on stage now. He's got a 4-minute presentation. Remember, guys, these are in the YouTube channel, and then we'll all break this down. And again, we'll see how many questions we get from you. So Dan Keller, what you got?
Hey guys, my name is Dan Keller. I'm a branch manager and modern mortgage advisor right here in Edmonds, Washington. I'm so honored to be speaking at the Modern Real Estate Summit this year because it's my belief that if you want to be a modern real estate agent, you need to be working with a modern mortgage advisor. And what modern mortgage advisors do is they share the importance of a real estate transaction. It's not just a house, it's a home. And more so, it's not just a home. In today's market, here in the Seattle marketplace, it's a financial tool. If you want to be a modern real estate agent, you've got to be working with a modern mortgage advisor that leverages Mortgage Coach with every single borrower. I'm going to show you how a modern mortgage advisor leverages Mortgage Coach to help their clients make a more intelligent mortgage decision, but more so, a more intelligent decision that makes better use of their money. One of the things that I know that modern real estate agents admire and look for in a mortgage professional is financial literacy. Someone that is financial literate and experienced. This is where it gets really fun. This is where I leverage Mortgage Coach, and especially in today's market where a home might be listed at $825, but it sells for $950. So this particular client right here, this is a great example of how I start out after the pre-approval using Mortgage Coach. And what we've done here is you can see with Jay and Allison, I've given them 3 options. I've actually given them 4, and I'm going to come back to the 4th, but I've given them 3 options. Purchase this home for $850. They may escalate to $900 or to $950, but you have to understand, look at column 1. They're renting for $2,800 a month. Look at column number 4, option number 3. Total net payment is $2,835 a month. That's not your total monthly payment. Their total monthly payment is $4,112. Now, The net payment is when you factor out the tax refunds, when you factor out some of the things, the financial benefits of home ownership. The true net monthly payment for owning a home, minus mortgage interest, minus the IRS tax refunds, the net monthly payment is $28.35 a month. It's just like renting, and this is where a modern mortgage advisor can really help a modern real estate agent. Go to column number 5, option number 4. If they were to wait a year, house goes up in value to about $1 million. They still have to put down 20% plus a little bit more to stay under the county loan limits to stay at $776,000. But look at this. Total monthly payment now is $48.35. Look at the net monthly payment, $38.14. It's clear as day that it makes more sense right now to purchase than rent, even if you think you're overpaying for the house. So a modern mortgage advisor puts the focus on money. A modern real estate agent puts the focus on a long-term investment. That real estate is an investment vehicle, even if it's your primary residence. I hope this information helps. One last strategy that I use, and this is incredible. Now that we've got mutual acceptance, this is where I share with them, hey, from the information you gave me from budgeting up front, I see that you have an extra $750 a month in disposable income. What if you prepaid that mortgage by $750 a month? What would that do to your total net worth? Well, as you'll see here, it drops off about 9 years of their mortgage, but it gets better. What if they invested $750 a month, and from the looks of it, we took everything that's left over every single month and put it into investments? If you needed it, you could access it, but you put it into investments. Look at this over 15 years. Because of a mortgage guy who brought about awareness, introduced them to a great financial planner, that one decision increased their total net worth by $265,000 over 15 years. That is a modern mortgage advisor, and that is why it's so important as a modern real estate agent that you're working with a modern mortgage advisor that leverages Mortgage Coach technology. I hope this was helpful, guys.
Love it, Dan. Thank you, Dan Keller, being a great ambassador for Mortgage Coach, providing education and clarity. Sosi, any takeaways you had, any advice you have for folks as a leader at the sales meeting?
I thought his transition was fantastic, right? His intro with who he is as a person and the community that he impacts was great. The big takeaway that I loved hearing was being able to clarify from a monetary perspective how his service monetarily changed the path that his client could be on, right? Because of a modern mortgage advisor introducing them to a great financial advisor, now their net worth was impact the 200 grand. That is awesome. The clarity to be able to give that to someone and say, when you work with me, this is your potential. When you work with others, this is theirs. That's great, because at the end of the day, we all help people get debt, but it's how we help them get the debt and what we do after they get the debt that really makes us stand out. And I thought his call to the modern realtor and showing them why they or what value they can have as a modern realtor was really fantastic too.
Todd?
No, I totally agree. I mean, Dan has certainly upped his game, as most of you who have been through Amplify have. So, see, I think that, you know, it's interesting because I did the Amplify online, and now I'm looking forward to going to Amplify live, because I really see a huge difference in the before and after of all of you, right? I mean, I interviewed you, I think about 1.5 years ago, and just watching your evolution, and then now seeing Dan's and all the other people who we continue to feature here in this community. Why? Because they've actually invested in themselves and jumped up. And so I totally agree with you. I think, you know, for me personally, what I love about Dan's is he has the same goal of helping people financially, which is really one of the things when I was doing loans that was really important to me. And so I love the fact that his personal passion shines so much through. And I feel like the rest of you have a similar passion, and you just have to figure out how do you harness that and then package it into your videos as you do going forward. Because I think all the times we've had Dan on in the past few months, he's continued to push this passion to all of you. And so just think about what's driving you and where's that passion, and bring it just like we're seeing here today. Yeah.
So, I mean, Dan's clearly a varsity player. He did 2 different shoots. He had a pro film crew do one. He was already doing that. I think at least once a month, Dan has someone come out for a couple of hours, and they, shoot video at different locations. I think some of it is for the American Dream. show that Dan does. And then he creates a lot of content. So think about that, guys. You can come up with on location in a house, someplace that's unique to the community that you live in, for a half day, do a shoot. And then that other part, he was sitting at his desk. He was using his standard webcam. He might've been recording that with Zoom, something anyone could do. I don't know if he edited himself. I mean, it would have been a really simple edit with iMovie. Like I could have made the edits that he did. And he may have had an editor do it, but love that varsity transition. Dan, community leader, framed it. And then he sat down, okay, I'm a mortgage nerd, providing fiscal literacy so that the customers I serve make better choices, have more confidence, get more winning offers. Sosi, we do have another video to play, but I want to make sure, we take as much advantage of you as we can while you're here. Anything you want to share with everyone, or do you want to do another strategy?
I can. I'm actually down to watch the video. This has been pretty enjoyable to just see from other people and then try to give some in the weeds, because to Dan's video, and maybe this could be a topic of a discussion, I think one of the hard parts to communicate greater value is seeing that those monetary examples to someone, right? Why should I choose you and not the other guy? You're both giving me debt. Being able to see that, hey, $200,000 difference because of my system to be able to connect you is massive. It's a really great differentiator to agents, especially when they hear like what we do. It's a really good way of showing that it's not a sales pitch of going in behind door number 1, this is what I have for your marketing, and behind door number 2, this is what I have for you as a person, behind door number 3, this is what I have. It's being able to go, here is the true impacts that change it. And so these stories of what's happening in families, I'm loving. And so if we got more of those, I'd love to kind of pick some of those apart and take notes on this.
Well, I got one more. We'll play another one. So we've got 9 Mortgage Coach stories in the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. I put the Mortgage Coach Agent Advantage playlist. It's at the very top. So if you just go to the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel, it's the very top playlist. And there's 8 of them, or there's 9 of them. Sosi, are you game for being number 10? And I'm not saying you need to do it by showtime, but first of all, it's too late to make it for the showtime. We did release the show clock, guys, but are you game within the next couple of weeks, being a Mortgage Coach ambassador and jumping on the Realtor Advantage stage?
Sure. Just give me whatever topic that you feel needs to be reinforced a little bit more from the Mortgage Coach community so we can represent the group well.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you on that. And I want anyone who's watching this to hear the same thing. I want you to talk about what you're passionate about and what would be valuable to your agents. Like, what video do you want to make? Now, the Mortgage Coach version, you're not going to say your company name. You're not going to promote yourself. You're really making it as a public service story for other mortgage coaches. But you could take that same version and put a different close and a different open and use it with your agents. So my challenge to you, Sosi, is I want you to do what you are most passionate to do and would be most valuable to your agents. And then anyone else listening to this, I'm looking for more videos from the Mortgage Coach community where you guys are creating less than 5 minutes. Like, the goal is these are 3 to 5 minute quick hits that help realtors go, you know what? I need to be working with a mortgage coach. My loan officer needs to be a mortgage coach. So let's see what Denise Donahue did, and then we'll unpack that a little bit. And then we'll close out our sales meeting today.
I cannot wait to share the strategy with you guys. I'm sure many of you, like lenders, are getting the question, should I buy now or should I wait? Well, when you're partnered with a modern mortgage advisor, we can help answer this question with facts and numbers and data, which totally changes the game from making a statement based off emotion. Because let's be honest, clients know that we have a biased interest in helping them buy now versus later. So sometimes they don't really believe what we might say. They might be thinking that we're just trying to collect a paycheck. But when they see the numbers, which I'm about to show you, it is like mind blowing. So let me give you an example. In this chart, I'm going to show you If you were to buy a house today, let's say at $450,000 with a 2.75 interest rate, you're going to have a monthly payment of around $1,469. So that client's out shopping and they're like, real estate agent, I'm just not finding anything in my budget. I think I'm going to wait a year. Okay, well, in this same chart, I'm going to show you based on a 5% appreciation in home values, which we know is kind of low right now, but let's just be conservative, a 5% appreciation. That means that that house today at $450,000, that same house is going to cost you $472,500 because 5%, that's about a $22,000 appreciation. So that same house at $450 is now going to cost you around $472. But what else changes? The interest rate. Interest rates are at the lowest that they've ever been. They're not going to stay that way. So if the going interest rates, like in this chart, shows 2.75, let's just say interest rates move to 3.375. What does that actually do from a number standpoint? Well, that same home a year from now is going to cost them roughly $200 more a month. So when you share that with a client and they're like, oh, wow, well, I don't have $1,670 a month to pay for a home. My budget was closer to the $1,470. That's $200 more a month. And it's like, yeah, client, that's because if you wait with these homes increasing and rates increasing, it's going to cost you more money. So now the houses that you don't necessarily like today, you're really not going to like because of appreciation and interest rates rising. The other thing that I love to show clients that really opens their mind is, let's fast forward this over let's say 10 years, 120 months, which is what this next slide shows you. And as a modern mortgage advisor, I can use 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. Right now I'm using 10 years based on the average statistic. So over 10 years, this chart shows them that it's going to cost them over $26,000 when we look at the total analysis by waiting just 1 year to buy. So when you get clients ask you that question, you could answer the question emotionally like, yeah, now's the right time to buy. Or you can be partnered with a modern mortgage advisor that can show them charts like this, which are digestible, and it opens their mind and it shows them the tangible numbers so that they can make an informed decision. If you're not partnered with a modern mortgage advisor, I hope you can see now, this is just one strategy and example that can help your clients make an informed decision.
Boom. Sosi, what are your thoughts on that one?
You know, I love the nerd. She is, I'm a little jealous of how great her stuff is. But to kind of go back to one of the points you made earlier about the mobile phone, I think it's a perspective that I forget quite often. To see that, you know, the graph was still in the video instead of just a full out, I couldn't stop thinking about that since you mentioned it. And so that was my takeaway, is going, man, even though she is fantastic at marketing, which I don't feel like I could even hold a candle to, and even though it looked really, really good, your point on it being mobile is definitely something that I want to kind of change even in my processes. But her content was fantastic.
Yeah, no, guys, that's top of the mountain content. Her mic was like movie star great. Like the sound was quality, the lighting was amazing. The camera that she shot with was amazing. The editing was fantastic. Personally, I think she could have moved the numbers in and moved them out. So kind of moved them in, heard what we're talking. There could have been just a little more in and out of those, because you want them to understand it, but if it's becoming noise and it's not helping. Todd, what are your thoughts?
Speaking of noise, we got a jet plane flying overhead. You know, my thoughts are, brings me to one of the things that Brendan Kane, who wrote Good Point, said. I'm gonna have to talk really loud. So when
I'll jump. It's a hard one. I'll jump right in and while that plane goes. One of the cool things though too, like I forget so much, Dave, and just to bring your point in further. Yeah, the moving the numbers is huge, not because she's doing a bad job, but because we are competing not against each other. We're competing against Netflix. We're competing against Disney. We're competing against all these really great production companies that grab the attention of the client. And you're right, that would have grabbed my attention more as a consumer.
All right. So one of the other things that I was attempting to say was in Brendan Kane's book, Hook Point, right? So Brendan's the guy who got 1 million followers on social in 30 days. He says that people on YouTube who have the highest followers enunciate their words better than everybody else. And that's what I keep thinking about when I'm watching these videos today, is that all of these producers are slower than I am and enunciate their words way better than I do. And it would just be something to consider as you are filming your videos.
So see, my battery on my laptop's kind of low, and we're not in a place where we can plug it in. So if we go out, if we disappear, if you could close out the show for us, say something smart and close it out. But
just know we love y'all.
Yeah, no, we love you all.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow live on stage at 8 a.m.
Well, and hopefully it won't die. I mean, we're at 9%, but you know, like when you get under 10%, you never know when it's going. So want to remind you guys, the show clock is in our group. We did get Brendan Kane on stage. So the author of Hook Point, best-selling, 1 million copies sold, how to get attention in a 3-second world. It's mind-boggling. He, for us, created I don't know, we asked him for 5 minutes, but he gave us 10 minutes.
I think
or maybe it's 12 minutes.
I think, yeah.
But we'll have him on stage. We're going to have everybody in the mortgage coach community. Renee Rodriguez. Renee said he spent over 30 hours on his presentation. He's like, it's the best I have at virtual influence, at amplifying your influence. So we've got Renee, and then of course we've got just so many: Cody Gibson, Ryan Serhant, Veronica Figueroa, Brett Tanner, Jason Mitchell. So guys, Jason Mitchell is the #1 agent for Rocket Mortgage. He is, I don't know if he's #1, but he's one of the biggest agents for Zillow. So he's like the agent for disruptors. So companies that are disrupting the mortgage space that really care about processes, systems, consistent experience, this is who they're partnering with. So we're closing it up with him. We've got Kyle Whistle. We've got Seth O'Byrne. We got Brian North. I mean, I could go on, guys. We've got
I think Seth O'Byrne's kind of a cool one to highlight because people don't know who he is, but he's got an HGTV show.
They don't know who he is? Everybody knows
who Seth is. I don't think they know who he is, but he's got an HGTV show and he talks about edutainment, which is what we're all trying to become better at. So that one in itself, I think, is pretty cool.
It is cool. I think he has over 100,000 IG followers, but over 80,000. So yeah, I mean, he's one of San Diego's top agents. And the dude kills it, and he's just a cool dude. So edutainment with Seth O'Byrne. You're right. Yeah. Call it, shine a light on that. We got just a lot of great folks. So Sosi, as we wrap up today's call, anything you think we should close out with, knowing that we wanted to deliver the best sales meeting in the mortgage business today?
Yeah, I think to just go back to the initial point, right? For any of you guys that are like me and you feel like you got a ton of stuff on your shoulders, right? For me, I just had a baby about 19 days ago. The team is growing. We are in a fantastic place of just skyrocket production. We are looking forward at looking at over 100 million this year, which is extremely exciting for us. But most of all, we're also trying to create people who love being on the team, meaning happy employees. And so having all that massive weight, right? I can tell you from someone who feels like, man, I don't got time to even think about something new. Well, here you didn't really have to think about it, right? You were just given a ton of really cool strategies from amazing people. And I hope that all of us have been able to see something that we can tweak in our sales presentations, see something we can tweak in the way we deliver our help to families. And if nothing else, I hope that all you guys get a little bit more of emotional encouragement, knowing that you are not the only one who feels overwhelmed, and we are growing to be what the industry needs as leaders through this community just because it exists. So I hope that's encouraging to all of you guys here in our community.
That was wonderful, Sosi, and came from the heart. Everything you say is from the heart. So another thing, if anyone who is watching and attending the Modern Real Estate Summit, we're going to be creating some pretty special content afterwards that's going to go into the 1-year pass that we make available in a month or so. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make some movies. We're going to make some like sales presentations, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour and a half. If you want to rent out a movie theater and invite a bunch of agents, we're going to create a movie around the Modern Real Estate Summit. So let us know what your highlights were. Like if you can private message me, Todd, we're going to create some amazing content so that mortgage coach loan officers will be the most valuable loan officers to realtors, and mortgage coach loan officers who are part of this Modern Real Estate Summit will be able to deliver better education to realtors than any loan officer in America. So we're going to wrap it up. Any closing words you have, bro?
No, I think Sosi, you just crushed it. I just love that you are such a servant, have such a servant's heart to give that encouragement to this community. I think that's what we all need right now, right? This is going to be a crazy year. We were talking about it at dinner last night, and you know, it's going to be hard for people to repeat 2020 numbers in 2021, and it's going to be hard for people to repeat 2021 numbers in 2022. And we all got to fight. We all got to get out there and do it. And I feel like there's opportunities like this where you're going to be able to make a difference in the lives of your real estate agents. You're going to be able to learn more yourself, to be more valuable to your clients, and help those partners. And I'm just super excited. Grateful for your time, Sosi. Excited, appreciate you, Dave, and excited that we're here. And then appreciate Adam, who's hiding over there working on all the last minute stuff for the event. So can't wait to see you guys there tomorrow.
So remember, guys, you're on this. You're a local mortgage professional serving local real estate professionals, and one of the themes of this event is, guys, we're in this together. We need to be teammates better than ever, and we all need to be modern. So Sosi, thanks, brother. Guys, this call is a wrap. Have a great day.
Later.
See a lot of you online tomorrow.